Today we're going to be looking at 5 players who will make their first All-Star appearance next season in the 2023 NBA All-Star Game. So without further ado, let's hop into it. So at number 1 is definitely the safest bet and is pretty much a lock to make the All-Star team next year is Anthony Edwards from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Edwards in just his second season averaged 21.3 points, 4.8 rebounds, and 3.8 assists. You can argue that he was even snubbed from the All-Star game last year when they were coming up with all the reserves to fill all the injured players. Now, Edwards going in his third season will be the main focal point of the new look Minnesota Timberwolves alongside Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. And I think what we learned at the end of the season last year and in the playoffs that moving forward, it's in Minnesota's best interest to make Anthony Edwards the number 1 guy in the team. Now, there's no disrespect from Karl-Anthony Towns, but in the playoffs, he seemed to be limited on offense just a little bit. So I think Edwards is going to be that main focal point and the number 1 option for them. And similar to what we saw at Dejounte Murray this year, I think he can make that same third-year leap and possibly be in the talks for MVP. Not going to win it, but be in the talks, be top 10, be in that conversation year-round. And when you're in that conversation, you're automatically locked for the All-Star game. And he's super young, hasn't been injured a whole lot. So he's going to be able to get the reps and get a lot of games into where he will qualify for the game. And Anthony Edwards, it's the safest bet you can make for next year's first-time All-Star. Now, in a close second behind Anthony Edwards, we have gilgeous-alexander, and I think he will finally get the respect he deserves on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Again, he's another player you can argue that could have made the All-Star game last year, but the Thunder were trying to lose games and they were terrible, so it's really hard to give a player an All-Star nod when their team is one of the bottom 2 teams in the Western Conference. It's just hard to justify their position in the All-Star game for that. But last year, Alexander averaged 24.5 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. Those are All-Star caliber numbers for sure. Just unfortunately, his team was terrible. Alexander's going in his 4th season on the Thunder. That team will hopefully look to be a little competitive this year if they choose to be. They finally got a great young assets around that team that they've been trying to build. They got Shea, they have Josh Giddey, they have Chet Holmgren, they have some other draft picks from this year, some draft picks from last year that are all developing the nice young players. And I think they could potentially be a play-in team this year. And if they're anywhere in that time or anywhere in that seating between like the 8th and the 10th spot, I think Shea will get the All-Star nod because I don't see his production slowing down anytime soon. And I think finally we'll get a year out of gilgeous-alexander to show that he's one of the best in the game. My next player is Tyler Hero from the Miami Heat. Now, I do believe Tyler Hero will earn a starting spot for the Miami Heat in his 4th season, and he's ready to take over that offense and be like the number 1, number 2 option, behind Jimmy Butler. When Jimmy Butler's got his game going, Hero will take a step back. When Butler's trying to be more facilitator, defender, and just all-around operator of the team, Hero will step in and be that number 1 option on offense. He played starter level minutes last year, so it's not like he's going to get a huge minutes increase, but I think just him starting, it's just going to give him more recognition and we'll get more votes towards the All-Star game. Also, Miami fans love their players, so he's going to get a lot of fan votes as well. Now, last year, Tyler Hero won 6th Man of the Year and pretty much swept his competition by averaging 20.7 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists, and really running that second unit for a very successful Miami Heat team. And Miami is always going to be a very good team. I see them being the 1, 2, or 3 seed next season because they always go hard in the regular season. They always want to gun for the top seed. So if Miami is a top seed, Jimmy Butler's doing his thing, Tyler Hero's doing his thing, there's no reason not to give the Miami Heat 2 different All-Stars, and I think Tyler Hero will take one of those spots. Next might be a surprise to all y'all, but I have Evan Mobley from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, he had a tremendous rookie campaign for the Cavs last season and could surprise us all this season making the All-Star team. Now, he was arguably Rookie of the Year, but he did miss some times, and Scotty Barnes had a tremendous rookie campaign, so all respect to him. But last year, Mobley averaged 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 1.7 blocks a game last season. Mobley could have been in the discussion for Defensive Player of the Year. However, I think because he was a rookie, people didn't want to give him that nod just yet, and he did miss quite a few games. And my biggest thing on this, it depends whether the NBA lists him as a forward or a center. If he's listed as center, I think he has a higher chance of making it. Obviously, Joel Embiid, if he's healthy, is going to be the starting center for the East. But then if you look, if they, to put Jarrett Allen at center as well, he's competing with Jarrett Allen, he's competing with Bam Adebayo. Robert Williams maybe gets some few votes, but other than that, I really just see Mobley being the backup big on the All-Star game if he's listed as a center in terms of fan voting. And as history shows, big men get more respect for the All-Star game if they're, wonderful defenders. Rudy Gobert is not an all-star caliber player, but he's such a big difference maker on the defensive end that he always got the nods and made the all-star team because of his effect on the on his basketball team. And the Jazz were always a very, very good team. Now I can see the Cavs making a pretty big jump this year, finishing between the 3rd and 6th seed. I think that deserves enough for Evan Mobley to possibly make it if he has the same impact on defense. Of course, I think his offense can grow. I think he can jump up to 20-point per game score, get 2 blocks a game, be in Defensive Player of the Year conversation, and I think that deserves an all-star from the big man spot. So this pick may be very controversial, but that's my own opinion on that. And my last player that I think will make the all-star game, you guys may think this one is a surprise as well, because usually when we talk, have this conversation, they're usually younger stars like the first 4 I talked about. But my last pick is CJ McCollum. CJ McCollum in his last 30 games for the New Orleans Pelicans, he was finally given the primary ball handling responsibility of the team and made the most of it for sure. McCollum averaged 24.3 points, 6 assists while shooting 40% from 3. Now McCollum is going to his 10th season and projected to have one of the best seasons yet. So let's just hope he can make the best of this season and carry that momentum in from last season. And if he puts up 25 points per game, and if the Pelicans finish, if they're in the top 4 or 5 seeding on the Western Conference, I think he can get the nod. A part of me feels like his stats are going to go down because Zion is going to be really ball dominant. But other than CJ McCollum, they don't really have any score first ball handling guards. I mean, they have Kira Lewis, who is a big question mark coming off an ACL tear. They have Devontae Graham, who's losing minutes every single game. They have Jose Alvarado. Like, they got 3 good guards on that team, but the jump between those 3 and CJ is huge. So I think CJ is mainly going to be the point guard and the shooting guard of that team. So he's going to put up great numbers, be a great facilitator, and just be a great player for the Pelicans team. That's why I think he will get an all-star selection next season. Number 4, I end the video, I want to give some runners-up. I think Tyrese Halliburton from the Pacers could potentially make it. I think DeAndre Ayton, if he's motivated, he can be a really good center, especially playing with a great point guard and Chris Paul, can make it too. Same thing with Christian Wood. He's playing with Luka Doncic. Luka will make sure he gets the ball when he's open. And those are pretty much my 3 runner-ups. And I'm also, in this video, I considered about what spots will be open. That's why I wanted to do some forwards and some guards from the East and the West to make it more balanced. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.